I've married her 5-6 minutes. The Bnei Shlem told, he commanded Avram Avinu, Lech Lecha mi'artzecha u'me'emlad v'beis avicha. He said you should leave the land that you were born in, your birthplace, your father's home, to the land in which I will show you. And Rashi says that you should leave la'anoscha u'letevascha. It's for your benefit and for your good to leave. As they were traveling, leaving, wandering from their homeland, Avram and Sarah, so Avram Avinu, Avram turned to her, he said, I realize, he said, now that you're an attractive woman. And he said, because where we're traveling to, it's a land of where immorality is rampant. There's so much immorality and corruption. Being that you're an attractive young lady, he says, so my life will be in danger. Even though my life will be in danger, they'll want to take my life in order that that you'll be free, that they can have you. Eventually, when she was taken to the king's palace, and he was plagued because he did something forbidden. He took a married woman, and the Almighty revealed himself and told him, he said, what you did, you're taking somebody else's wife. So he was stricken with illness, he and his entire house, and all women became childless, they were stricken with illness. So they came to Avram Avinu, to Abraham, asked him to pray, to mispal on their behalf, that they to forgive them, that they took his wife, they didn't realize it, and to pray on their behalf. So from this our sages tell us, he prayed on their behalf and called mispal bat chaveru hunenet tchila. If someone is in need of divine assistance, are you sure he's in need of something desperately, and someone else is also in need? So if you set their interests before your you are answered before them. And this is what happened there. As a result, Sarah, who was childless, Akora, she didn't have any children. She gave birth further on. She gave birth to Yitzchak. There was a couple that were childless for many years, and it's recommended as Gula, a good amen, to have children. Someone who's unfortunately childless is to on the Day of Atonement, on Yom Kippur, a very sacred day. On Yom Kippur, the most critical and most solemn tefillah, prayer of the whole Yom Kippur is the Nileh, the closing of the entire day. And for that prayer, the ark is open and remains open for the entire prayer, the entire tefillah of Nileh. So it's known that this is supposed to be a school of Naaman for the assistance, that from heaven they should respond and grant you this great blessing that you have to raise a family. In many synagogues, and in most synagogues, it's something that they don't just give out the honor. People bid for it because it has so many, it carries in its train so many blessings. So they bid for it. And two people were bidding, two worshippers were bidding for the honor of opening up the ark for this very critical and solemn prayer of Tefillah, of Nileh. And it seems that both of them had the same, were looking for the same divine assistance, the same response, that same responsive call from heaven. They both needed, they wanted to raise a family. And one of them, who was seemingly more comfortable than the other, he kept on outbidding the other one. Then he stopped for a moment, and he said, "Oh my goodness," he says, "you know, we're both looking for the same miracle, for the same blessing from heaven. What will happen," he says, "if I outbid him, so I'll end up with this almond, with this gula, and he'll leave Yom Kippur, he'll leave empty-handed." He said, "How can I do that to him? We're both looking for the same thing. How can I do that to him?" So he stopped bidding. After the other one outbid him, he stopped. And the end of the story was that both of them, from heaven, both were answered, were blessed with families. The same thing happened. It was known that a particular saintly and very pious rabbi, known also as a anonymous gula, to go to be by him, to pray in his presence, in his synagogue, in his shul, Smedrish, on Yom Kippur. So there was a wagon that was driving, hired a wagon driver, was selling seats to go to that particular town. And one gentleman who wanted very much, desired it intensely, to go to that rabbi's minyan, to be with him, this Rebbe, on Yom Kippur. And it was the last seat. He bought the last seat and was ready to sit down. Then somebody came running, and he wanted also, he said, "Is there any more room on the coach?" So he told him, "No, the last seat was sold." And the one who bought the last seat, he took the time to turn around and says, "Why are you so anxious to get in this coach?" So he says, "I'm married so many years," he said, "and I heard about this wonderful school of this Amen, of being in the presence, praying on Yom Kippur with this Rebbe." He said, "That's why I want you to go." So he says, "Really?" So he thought a moment to himself. He said, "I'll go, and I'll be answered, and he'll stay, and I'll leave him behind. He'll be empty-handed. He'll be left out in the cold. How can I do that? Joe Almighty will help me even if I don't go because I'm going to give him my seat." He gave him the seat. And the end of the story was that both of them from heaven, both were answered, and both were blessed with families.